programme.
First tonight, one of our MPs has sparked controversy by criticising women who choose to wear the burqa in public.
Of faith, which should be welcome anywhere, or a physical barrier, unwelcome in certain situations. Home Office Minister Jeremy Brown says it is time to consider banning veils in public to protect girls from being pressured into wearing them.
Why are you wearing the niqab?
Everything we do as a Muslim is an act of worship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the way we dress is exactly that. It's an act of submission to Allah, and I wear the niqab to please my creator, not to please the society or the president or prime minister of the country or any man or any woman. I wear it to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, pure and simple.
How do you feel when the British media has addressed the niqab, and after the allegations that niqab is related, they want to ban niqab because it's related to security issues?
I think that's ludicrous. I think even many non-Muslim men and women, general people, would know that that is a ludicrous claim, that it's a security issue, a security threat. And many of us pass through airports, and we're very happy to cooperate with female security staff and show our faces, to confirm identity. I think this has just been blown out of proportion. I think the real motive behind the niqab issue is that is part of the wide attack against Islam. A few years ago, Philip Holloway, the same MP that brought it up again, he'd raised the issue. Obviously, we know in France they banned it. In place in Holland they banned it. In Belgium there's a street ban. So we think it's just following suit with the rest of Europe. And we think the woman's dress code is always something that they attack again and again as part of their general attack against Islam.
You think maybe it's the first start, it's the beginning of banning the hijab?
Possibly, yeah, I do actually, and I do think that while we feel as Muslims, many of us in this country, that while UK forces and their allies are in our lands, militarily invading and attacking, we feel that this is part of an ideological attack against Islam. And I do think that eventually, there'll try to be some kind of a ban, but really the motive behind it isn't women's rights and women's freedom, because it's very hypocritical. If you believe in women's freedom, according to democracy, people are free to to wear what they want, then how is it that a Muslim woman's freedom under your own law is being restricted?
But most of the people I spoke to them, who are against niqab, they said hijab is started to be as a cultural issue. We agree with hijab, but niqab is something. We want to identify the person who's wearing hijab, and some institutions like a court. And what's happened during the court when the judge has asked the lady to take off the... So if you are instead of this lady, are you...
Well, that lady, in fact... And once again, I think that it's never really happened in the past. I think that now that generally, because the MPs have raised it and it's been in the media, I think that it's been blown out of all proportion. The whole niqab thing. I think for years women in this country have worn niqab, and it's not like France where it's a minority. It's everybody's wearing niqab. It's something very common. So, and it was never an issue before. It's only recently become an issue. We do feel that's increasing due to the general global attack against Islam. I do believe it's an ideological thing. It's not about freedom and feeling sorry for Muslim women, because we don't need anyone to feel sorry for us. We believe actually that the Western woman in the UK is oppressed. We believe we're liberal in the sense that we where the Western woman, she's subservient to man-made law.
What you're going to do, or your community will do, if the government ban or some institution has banned niqab?
I think that's a very important question, because if the ban did happen in the UK, I don't think it will actually happen personally, because I think as I said, there's a lot more women in this country wearing the niqab than in France, and I think there's going to be a mass defiance, because the reason that Muslim women wear the niqab was never because David Cameron said it was allowed. We wear it because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And just because David Cameron said it's not allowed, there's no way the Muslim women will stop wearing it, especially those who wear it as obligation. They'd be sinful for losing it, they will never remove it. I don't think any of the Muslim women will. So how exactly are they going to enforce and implement such a law when you've got such a huge amount of people who would defy the law? Absolutely they will.
How you will? I mean,
they will not remove it. So I'd like to see how the UK government, if they ever brought in a ban, would actually enforce it. How they're going to challenge, the 3 or 4 million Muslims that live in this country. It'd be very interesting to see. I think they'd be very naive and very foolish to go down that road. And I even believe if they were to do something like that, that it could eventually lead to civil unrest. A very dangerous move.
And I mean, we have heard that some clerics, they said Niqab is not a religious thing.
Yeah.
So why? Okay, hijab. Everybody's, accepted the hijab, and even the government and even the ordinary people in the UK here, they accept hijab. And the clerics, the Muslim clerics, they said it's not a religious. So why you're wearing it?
On the khimar and jilbab, you're right. There's no issue of any ikhtilaf, difference of opinion on this issue. On the niqab, there is, but the fact of the matter is that the ijtihad made by those scholars who believe the niqab is fard or recommended, or they believe that it's extra piety, they do have sources from the Quran and the Sunnah and the understanding of the Sahaba. We know many women in Medina did cover their face, some didn't cover their faces. We have hadith from many of the Sahaba, so it has a strong grounding, a juristic grounding in Islamic law and Islamic texts. So for people who would say that, I don't think it's just the niqab. I think it's the whole, they may not be attacking the khimar, the hijab, as you say, today, but tomorrow it will be, you see. I don't think it's really about a little piece of cloth. I think it's more about the fact that this has become a symbol of Islam in the West. And this is what is truly, I think they truly hate, that there is a growth of Islam, and it's mainly young women. I know who you've spoken to in the UK, but most of the women that are wearing niqab are young, studious, well-versed in Quran and Sunnah, articulate women who choose to wear it, you see. So they're not challenging some kind of archaic thing they want to make out that it's degrading, etc. It's nothing like that. This is by the choice of the woman as an act of submission to her creator. So
how do you describe the way how they are addressing niqab? For example, Guardian newspaper has said the attacking of banning niqab is a barbarian attack. Do you feel like it's really a barbarian to let the Muslim women who's wearing niqab to be banned? How do you describe
from their point of view?
No, I mean in general. Well, how
it's barbaric to stop women from wearing it. According to freedom and democracy, which I do not believe in, I believe in Islam, and which is ruled for Allah only. According to freedom and democracy, of course it's completely hypocritical. According to their own freedom, they're going 100 years back. 200 years back. Women fought 200 years in this country to get, to get their rights, so-called rights to freedom, which still don't exist in this country for women. Women are still don't have equality, But of course, from their own point of view, it is a complete anathema to freedom and democracy to ban women from wearing certain types of clothing. Yeah.
Thank you very much.